Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Light back at another YouTube video. And in today's video, we're going to be doing another one of these DC MCU concept videos. And in today's video, we're going to be doing we're going to be replacing Guardians of the Galaxy 3 with Suicide Squad 3, and this is going to be part number 40 in the series. So yeah, like I just said, it is going to be replacing Guardians of the Galaxy 3 with Suicide Squad 3. Now, it's important to note as well, this movie has not come out, nothing's come out yet. So, I'm operating off of pure speculation here. So, yeah. Just in terms of like deaths and stuff, because I know for a fact, I'm not gonna say I know for a fact, but I mean, it's pretty obvious that maybe in the Guardians 3 that characters will die off. So that's why what I'm kind of trying to simulate here in a sorts. So yeah. Anyway, so it's gonna be like Suicide Squad 3. Again, Guardians 3 is technically supposed to serve as a finale to them, to this certain team, and that's exactly what I kind of intend to do here with this team. So yeah. Anyways, so yeah, that's essentially what's gonna happen. Uh, yeah, I'm not sure if they're gonna make like a fourth Guardians movie, but if they do, I'll definitely do a Suicide Squad 4 concept video or something. So yeah. Anyways, going on here. So first of all, let's get into the team. First of all, we got Copperhead, new addition. We got Deadshot. We got Bloodsport. We got Harley Quinn, Peacemaker, as well as Ratcatcher 2, and King Shark. Now it's important to note there's been various members killed off and stuff. So I recommend checking out the other videos and stuff, just in case you're wondering. Now, in terms of Rick Flag, he is. I'm actually gonna. I made the decision. I'm keeping him dead, at least for now. So yeah, he's dead. So he's not really bothered with them, to say the least. Amanda Waller's still here. Now you might be wondering, oh, this is a Suicide Squad. Where's the randoms that are gonna die? And honestly, I just for time's sake and just for honestly the sane of my own mind, honestly I just picked to do just like completely randoms. Like I'm not gonna name any. I would say maybe 4 or 5 different randoms to occasionally die over the film. Or actually, I'd put it maybe down to like 2 or 3, just because you'll see in this concept. But yeah, I specifically did this on purpose just because this is again a finale. So I want to more execute with these more main members instead of putting in some randoms and just watching them die. Which don't get me wrong, that's pretty entertaining. But I mean, this is not the case. I'm trying to really make this into a better piece of cinema, I guess you could say. Anyways, villain wise. So in villain wise, I was honestly, I'm gonna be straight up. I was puzzled on villain wise. I didn't know who I wanted to pick to be the villain. Like, of course, if you've seen the previous ones, I had already done Star. I had already done kind of like a City of Joker type thing. Now I wanted to do something that was a big threat, and I was like, yeah, I recently watched the animated movie Suicide Squad: Hell to Pay, and I was gonna be like, maybe I think I want to try and maybe base it off that movie, which I still want to do. Don't worry, I still want to do that. But I was like, Reverse Flash doesn't make sense at all in this movie, so I'm not really bothering with him. But then I thought of a bigger person there, which is Vandal Savage. So yeah, I essentially wanted Vandal Savage to essentially be the villain of this movie. Now, if you remember, Vandal Savage was actually a villain for the Eternals replacement, which was Justice Society of America. Uh, yeah, so it's important to note that takes place on a different Earth. So technically, whatever happened with Vandal Savage on that Earth doesn't really affect this Earth. And we know Eternals essentially has a whole bunch of problems and stuff. Uh, sorry, came with this universe essentially because of the whole multiversal thing and stuff. So yeah, I'm not really sure if the Guardians will take place with the multiversal thing. So that's another thing. But I mean, to say the least, honestly, I'm gonna say this. Vandal Savage is gonna be kind of like this world's Vandal Savage. So yeah, don't worry about continuity issues and that stuff. I have it planned out structurally and everything, so don't worry about that. Um, Anyways, so yeah, Vandal Savage is the main villain of this movie. Now, how, in my opinion, how the heck is this gonna work? How is this gonna work with Vandal Savage being that big bad villain capable of really putting this team to work? Now, essentially, what I intended on planning is essentially is what's gonna happen is all of these characters will essentially be recruited again as Amanda Waller finds out about Vandal Savage. They learn about the history and stuff, and the Suicide Squad's essentially like, let's gear up to fight this guy. So that's essentially what happens. They all get sent off to essentially fight Vandal Savage. Now here's where it goes differently. They don't know he's immortal. They have no clue that he's immortal. So they go in thinking this guy is just a simple target. Let's kill this man and run. So that's exactly what all of these characters think. They go right after him, and actually, in a similar similar scene to in Suicide Squad, the actual movie, the DCU movie. Essentially, all of them will like approach, and that's when we'll see a lot of death. First of all, resulting in the deaths of all of these randoms. The randoms will all die first of all. So yeah, I honestly, in terms of like them versus an army of people, the randoms will die. Everybody else will go on, essentially. Now it's important to know I'm making Vandal Savage is like some is like he's essentially like a ruler of a certain place on Earth. So he's gonna have like a whole army at his disposal and everything. So yeah, I'm making him like kind of like a tyrant of sorts instead of opposed to like him being like some secretive society. Well, he is technically a secretive society, but instead of making him like a threat to Earth and stuff. So yeah. Anyways, so all of these characters, essentially now the randoms are dead, but they managed to escape, which is cool, and they end up finding Vandal Savage within. I would say this is about 45 minutes into a roughly 2 hour movie, and they find him, and they all attack him, and that's where we end up seeing Vandal Savage essentially, actually just straight up Bloodsport goes in for the kill. He goes in for like a melee kill, and that's when we learn Bloodsport essentially is like getting prepared to kill him, and is about to shoot him in the head and kill him, and he actually does. But we end up seeing he's immortal essentially, and then we see Bloodsport. He literally grabs Bloodsport and kills him. So yeah, Bloodsport ends up dying. So he's dead. He's our first death here. He's dead. Um, the rest of the team is like, holy crap, this guy's immortal. What the hell's going on? And then the rest of the team tries to fight him off, but again, they're essentially no match for him. So that's when we end up seeing him literally in a gruesome way. Keep in mind as well, this is going to be an R rating, so it's going to be very violent. And then we end up actually seeing him, Vandal Savage, literally kill Copperhead by literally ripping his head off when he tries to strangle him. So he's dead. Copperhead and Bloodsport are both dead. So now it's really down to now Deadshot, Harley Quinn, Peacemaker, Ratcatcher 2, and King Shark, as they all are there. And that's when we see Deadshot pull like the lucrative decision, and he's literally like, we gotta retreat. So what he does, he blows up the place, and the team runs out, and we see that happen. And they're essentially on Vandal's Savage's island. And it's then where they learn how to defeat him, essentially. As like some ritual and stuff. I'm not gonna go into it because again, this is not like a explain movie type thing. It's just a concept. Then we'll learn essentially how to defeat him, and that's when we go to our final battle, and they all meet up with Vandal Savage. Big fight goes down between like his army and him and all that sort. Is then where we see essentially like we learn that essentially there has to be someone sacrificed in order for this plan to work. Now Deadshot, knowing what's going on, he's like, I'm gonna do it as a one last heroic thing, He's also trying to be good with his daughter and stuff. And he's like, I'll do it as well. And so that does happen. And then Harley Quinn is like, no, no, no. Peacemaker and Ratcatcher 2 and King Shark. Actually, all of them agree. And then at the last second, Harley Quinn ends up taking the thing that to kill Vandal Savage and kills Vandal Savage. But at the same time, Vandal Savage kills her. So we end up actually seeing the death of Harley Quinn. So yeah, essentially three main character deaths here. Big ending to the Suicide Squad. In terms of who's really left, in terms of these main characters right now, it's really just Deadshot, Peacemaker, Ratcatcher 2, and King Shark. So they're the only ones who should really survive from this. Now I really wanted to make this more of like not a tragedy of sorts, but with a lot of character death, because I know it's trying to wrap up the whole Suicide Squad thing, as well as I wanted to make it true to heart and really make it so like if you were say watching this movie in theaters, you would see Bloodsport die, you'd be like, oh shit, like Bloodsport's dead. This is like a really wow factor to this movie. And then it'd be like Copperhead would die, and then they'd be like, oh shoot, that's big. Now the reason I purposely didn't make Copperhead die first is because I feel like that would lose that kind of wow factor, because you'd be like seeing Copperhead die, and then it'd be like Bloodsport die, and then it'd just be like Bloodsport wouldn't be as big of a wow factor. I would say this ties in a bit to the DCU, the current DCU. Remember that D-Day scene when they fought and stuff? When Captain Boomerang died, it kind of missed that wow factor just because there was so much other death. So it was just like, oh shoot, who's next to die? Blah blah blah. So yeah, I wanted to maximize that wow factor, so that's why I killed off Bloodsport first. And then Harley Quinn is meant to be more of like a sadder tone death, and just like a sacrifice of sorts. So that's the big thing with that. And of course, Deadshot, Peacemaker, Ratcatcher 2, and King Shark are all survivors as they head back to their respective places. Yeah, we end up seeing that happen. And yeah, that's pretty much it though. Finale to the Suicide Squad trilogy, I guess you could say. But anyways, that's pretty much it though. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.